This is very bright and it's hurting my eyeballs. I absolutely adored that game. This is gonna give me a virus. Maybe I should just buy it. It's just not my cup of tea. I kind of would call it petty and I love that. Petty for the people. Facebook had something to do with it. I didn't really like it. Hello, friends and gamers. So we have a chatty, yappy game yap today. My brain isn't working. I just played Castlevania for an hour straight. I finally played the DLC. That went up, I think, right before this. I finally played the Castlevania DLC. Did I call it Castlevania? I played Vampire Survivors for an hour. I have Castlevania on the brain now because I played the DLC finally, and I adore it so much. But speaking of indie games, Indiecade! So this is another one of those indie events that has been going on, I believe, for quite a while, but I just didn't know about until it popped up like on my Steam. Like I got a little pop-up thing for it, and I was like, oh, this is the type of thing I should talk about. This is content, baby, which is great because Twitter has been so bad for content recently because Twitter's just been so bad in general. Anyways, usually I find these sort of things on Twitter. This one just popped up on my Steam. I'm like, thank you. You know I'm your target audience. However, this is very bright and it's hurting my eyeballs. This yellow was a choice. The all yellow was a choice. I don't know what it, because DreamHack did the same thing where they used a bright ass red. Why are we doing this? My eyeballs hurt. It is 9 o'clock at night. I don't have the big light on. This is more light than the entire rest of my room combined right now. So, Indiecade. I believe this is just like an indie event that takes, like it's based in LA, I think, because they were doing, I went on the website. I'm like, what is this before I like dig into it? I think it's physically in LA, but then they have like the Steam event. This goes from November 8th, so last week when I was bed rotting. So that's why I didn't do it last week, and ends on the 16th. So a couple more days left by the time this video goes up, I believe. So I don't necessarily know how the voting and the winners and the point system works for who's the winners and all that jazz, but there's not too many games here, so we're gonna go through them. I'm gonna find some new ones as well as some ones that I already had on my radar. So yeah, I did kind of look through this list a little bit already to see if I had anything to say, and there's at least a couple of games on here that I do 200% have quite a bit to say about. So I think this looks like it might be more horror based. So maybe that's a little bit of recency bias because Halloween, and that's usually when a lot of people play their horror games, but I don't know, we'll see. So these first are the winners. So these are the 9, 10, 11 games that won this year. I feel like one might be missing, which means it might be one that I've played on a different platform, because if we go down here, I actually had to do something. If I've played a game on a different platform, I will hit the game, like the checkbox for that on Steam, and that ignores it, so it doesn't show up in like game recommendations, but I've played it on a different platform, so it is what it is. Save Your List, I've played on Switch, and we're going to talk about Save Your List once we get there, because I absolutely adored that game, and I'm so happy it's getting some flowers this year, because this was months ago that I played it. I'm so happy I get to see it a little bit. And I do want to talk about it when we get to this section, the nominee section. Even though it didn't win, it won in my heart. But I went on here, I was like, oh, I never marked that as having played it on a different platform. So I did that, and unfortunately, it disappeared from the page. So I feel like one might be missing on my end because I have played it on a different platform possibly. Or sometimes I do click ignore on very explicit and graphic games because I'm like, there's no way in a million years I could play that for content. I just don't show it to me. There's no way in a million years I can play that. Come on. So it could be something like that I am missing. But we're just going to go through the rest of the Steam page. We're starting with a game I have never heard of, this No Players Online, which it's not listed as like horror, but it definitely looks like it should be freaky at the very least. There is unfortunately a demo, and I had some demo dives planned, 2 final demo dives that I was going to record in October, and I never did. And now one of the demos is no longer available. So you see my dilemma, which means I could very well put demos in lists here. I unfortunately don't really want to play this. This looks terrifying. An abandoned FPS game on an old computer, you decide to play it. This seems terrifying. It's not tagged as horror or anything. It's interactive fiction, but this looks terrifying. This is the sort of game that I'm like, this is gonna give me a virus. It's gonna give me a virus. I think I'm gonna skip it for now. It's unsettling. It's like Sonic EXE. I feel like it's the sort of thing that's gonna dox me when I go to play it. And luckily I wouldn't stream it, so it wouldn't be a problem, but still that's terrifying. Please don't dox me in a game that's terrifying. But if you're into that sort of thing, like what is it called? Analog horror or something, play this. It looks really good, but I don't trust it. Next is Slasher U, an 18+ horror movie that's also a dating sim. This is another one I'm not even gonna pull this up because I know that I probably have to block things out just based on the video. I don't know if the criteria for winners for this indie event would be my same criteria for winners. Like, I don't know if I'm the target audience for this awards thing, and that's okay. There's a lot of indie games. I say it all the time, but there is at least one indie game out there for every single person in existence. You can find one, I bet. And I don't know if I am the person for this event, quite frankly. My hand tracking is goofing really bad today. I'm about to turn it off because I'm annoyed by it. I'm not moving my hands like at all right now, and they just keep moving. Sometimes it just happens like that. Okay, moving on. This is a game I have heard about, Lil Guardsman. I believe I tried to get a review copy of this back in January. Oh my god, it was January? Why does it feel like it was later than that? I did try to get my hands on this game, and as I've said in the past, I do prioritize games I get review copies of, because if a dev or publisher is nice enough to give me a review copy of a game, I do try to prioritize it. So I did want to play this game. I think it's just like a haha funny, kind of like something like Papers, Please, but not as dark, I think I would say. Like, where if Papers, Please has like a very much dark sense of humor, and I've not played Papers, Please, but it kind of gives me the ick. It's like one of those games where it's like, I don't know if I want to play that. There's something going on there, and maybe if I did play it, I would understand the haha funny, but I'm not going to, and that's okay. There's a lot of indie games, but that it seems something similar to that. Like Lil Guardsman is something similar to that, but a little bit more cute, if you will, cozy, and not as like dark humor, but just like a funny humor. You play a 12-year-old, like I did want to play this game, but I did not do that. On that same note, miniatures. Actually, miniatures isn't out yet, so I do believe I requested a review copy of this game, and it was on my demo dive list for Steam Next Fest. I never got to it. That being said, let's put it in the library, and I will throw it on a demo dive schedule very shortly, because I did plan on demoing it during Steam Next Fest. Didn't get to it. I scrapped my whole Steam Next Fest list. Anything I didn't have recorded like halfway through that week, that final week, I was like, forget it, I'm not getting this done. So if the demos pop up again, we'll play them. But this game does come out in 2 days, so if I were to hear about getting a review copy, I probably would hear about it the day this video is going up. And so if anything changes, I'll put a note if we're gonna play it. But I am interested in this game. I think I've put it on demo dive schedules quite a few times. It's a cute little short puzzle type game. It seems like I really want to play miniatures. So I am actually stoked that it's one of the winners, because that makes me very excited, because it was already something I wanted to play. It's not on my wish list, but I should probably put it on there. Speaking of wishlisted games, next is actually a game that is on my wish list. No Case Should Remain Unsolved. This is, I believe, kind of like, it's like a visual novel, like a mystery visual novel, I believe. And it reminded me very, very deeply of a game I played, like a visual novel I played a couple of years ago, and like adored. It wasn't even that good, but I was like obsessed with it. So I saw this and I was like, this seems like a similar enough vibe where I actually want to play it. This came out in January. I think it showed up on my, like, what's the word? My, what is it called? Discovery queue. I believe it showed up on my discovery queue very recently, that it came up on my radar, like within the last like 2 or 3 months. And obviously I put it on my wish list. I really want to play this. I think I've tried to see if it's on like the review websites I use, and I don't think it was. But now seeing that it has won awards, I'm like, maybe I should just buy it. Maybe I should just buy it at this point. But that's the other thing. I do prioritize games I have review copies of, so like, would I actually get to it? This does seem like quite a dark game, by the way. Again, just gonna point that out, but it looks really good. It really does. I'm like choking all of a sudden for no reason. What is going on? This seems very dark. I still really want to play it. And, you know, it's the sort of thing that if I did actually end up just buying it, I might just play the entire thing myself, not even like for content. This looks very, very good, and I'm happy it won something. Okay, next is Keep Driving. We've actually seen this game before, and I think it was actually supposed to be in a demo dive, the same Steam Next Fest demo dives, because it was shown somewhere else. So I think that I have to give it another shot. Because I think this is maybe the third time it's come up. I feel like it came up at a games showcase, and then it was in Steam Next Fest, and now it's here. So I feel like I have to do it. Oh my, I'm dying. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I'm like, I can't breathe. What is going on? Maybe I should stop recording, but I've already started the video, so we're gonna try to get through these a little bit faster now. But this one, I have talked about before. I was hesitant to play it at first because I suck at driving games, but this isn't actually a driving game per se. It's just the setup to drive, you know? So I'm putting it on the demo dives. Right now, where demo dives are at, they're backed up to December. So this would come out in December, demo dives. But yeah, I will put it on that list to get it done there. So then is a game that we have seen before, and it's already on my wish list. This is another little music game, Music Power Up. I don't really know how to describe this. It's tagged with like audio production and like retro casual. You create music for early video games. Does have some story elements as well. Make your own sounds and melodies from scratch or use pre-composed patterns. Play games, upgrade the music app, meet programmers, editors, and musicians. Find your next music job in the crazy decade that started the digital revolution, because this takes place in the 1980s. I think it's just like more like a collection of mini games with music involved as well, which I was just very intrigued by this the last time it showed up somewhere, so I did put it on my wish list. I think I want to say it was like a summer game fest or something like that it showed up. Or was it the back to school event? Because I did a video for that too. Huh. That's probably where we last saw it then. But yeah, it's already on my wish list. I already intend on playing it, and I love that it was actually a winner. Seeing that it's not out yet and not coming out until 2025, what did y'all play to vote for this? Give it to me. Give it to me now. I want to play it. What did y'all play? I'm kidding, but also not. Okay, next is Out of Hands, which is definitely, oh, this is not what I thought. A psychedelic deck builder? Wait, what are we doing? I thought it was gonna be like a psychological horror, but it's a deck builder. Okay, Out of Hands is a thrilling title that blends video collage graphics with gripping psychological horror. Okay, so it is psych horror. Will you seek the truth that lurks shrouded in a wicked, warped world? This is terrifying, by the way. And can you bear its weight? Misty memories start to tear you apart and contort you into a being made out of hands. Aha, I see what you did there. Ha ha ha. Oh, I don't want to... Listen, I'm looking at some of the art. I'm actually going to tap off. Looking at some of the art, I do think that game might get me demonetized. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to, like, if the trailer footage was blurred in that previous clip, it's because I do think some of that would get me demonetized. So I'm not gonna put it in a demo dive, but I am gonna keep my eyes on it because this looks insane. It looks insane, but I don't know how content friendly it is, which is kind of how I feel about it quite a few. Like this Slasher U, also, it looks wild and ridiculous, but I, again, don't know how content friendly that would be. Same thing with, honestly, No Case Should Remain Unsolved. It seems like it might be very dark, which is why I'm like, I might just purchase it and play it on my own and get back to y'all and if I like it. Because it looks like they went for much deeper, darker titles. There are some funnies, like Little Guardsman and The Crush House is on here, which are more funny, but there's a lot of dark ones as well, which is why I'm like, maybe I'm not the target audience, but also if a game is too dark, it's almost like kind of hard to make content for because you're almost guaranteed to get demonetized at some point. Anyways, moving on, Sol Sesto. I have never seen this. It's a dungeon crawler, puzzle dungeon crawler. It looks really cool. I really like the art style. This is a tactical and frenetic roguelite in which frenetic roguelite in which you have to master your luck, choose a hero, and reach the bottom of a random dungeon. In this grim world, every action has consequences. It's really cool. Actually, it reminds me a lot of Pyrene, which I just recently played, but definitely a different setup. The gameplay itself looks like the gameplay for Pyrene. However, everything else is different. Literally everything else on screen is completely different. This background lore also looks different. So, I mean, I would definitely be down to play this. So I'm adding that demo to my library. We are going to demo this as well in whatever demo dive I record next. Because I actually really like this. Q2 2025 is the release. I really liked Pyrene, so I look forward to demoing this because I already can tell I'm probably gonna be obsessed with it because the gameplay mechanic, like the core gameplay mechanic looks almost identical, but then everything else looks different, which is fine. Can only do a dungeon crawler so many different ways. And the thing is, I really liked how Pyrene did it. So I'm really excited to see something more with that same mechanic. So I look forward to this one. It looks like there's some extra things that make this stand out. And honestly, as much as I did like something like Pyrene, it looks like there might be little mini games added to this that are kind of what I felt like that game was missing. So I'm very intrigued by this and I'm excited to demo it for sure. It definitely is something I'm probably gonna have to play during the daylight hours because it looks kind of terrifying. Also, it looks like they changed the release possibly, which I don't have any qualms about. If you need more time to make your game, take more time to make your game. We've all seen the horrors of publishing your game too early. So I'm very excited for that, actually. That looks really good. Next is the Crush House, which I'm not going to spend too much time on because I have demoed the Crush House before. I am not the target audience for this game. I said it when I demoed it. I didn't get that far in demoing it. One, because it kind of gave me anxiety because you basically play as the producer, director, all-in-one person for a dating reality show. And I don't like dating reality shows. I really don't. I'm gonna be so real. Like the Love Islands and things like that, I don't like them. I think they're kind of like, I know they're staged and like fake, but I have to turn off this because there's too many butts. I have to go off that. It's just not my cup of tea, and I knew that going into it, but there was a demo, so I was like, okay, we'll demo it back in the summer months. Stop with the bad tracking. And I should not have demoed it because I am not the target audience and I did not really like it. I could see how somebody else, like other people, would really like it, especially if you're into those like dating reality shows or just reality TV in general. I really don't like reality TV in general. So it wasn't my cup of tea. I wouldn't play it again, but if you like that sort of thing, I would recommend it. I demoed it because there was a weird Furby aspect and I wanted to see the Furbies, but there wasn't enough Furbies for my liking, so I wouldn't play it again. But it is a very unique concept for a game, and I could see why a lot of people would like it, but it was not my thing, and that's okay. I just don't like reality TV, so a reality TV game, and then also I was getting anxiety because I have done production in the past, and this was like production on steroids, and it stressed me out. So our last game then is the man, the myth, the legend, Balatro. I've heard people say it different ways. I say Balatro, but I don't even know. I think I say all of them in different. I don't know how to say this. Balatro, the roguelike deck builder, poker, whatever. Poker roguelike. The poker roguelike. I've said my piece on this game before. I think it should win all the awards this year because this game, even you can see here from all the reviews, this game broke the indie game bubble. Everyone has played this. It went on mobile. I believe at one point in time, once it was like first put on the app stores, it was #1 in the US App Store for quite some time. Like this game, if my tracking could stop goofing, this game broke the indie bubble, and it's good. It's really good. I haven't played it, but I've watched quite a bit of gameplay, and I haven't played it because I know I will get addicted to it. I am in that camp. I am in the camp of I refuse to play Balatro because I know I will instantly become addicted to it, and I don't have time for that right now. So like, honestly, I probably will pick this up during the holiday season when I do, and hopefully will have a little bit more time to just kind of sit on my phone. But I say that, I probably won't have any more time to sit on my phone. But I have to give so many props to this game. The dev, like the single dev, has done some great stuff, great DLCs. I'm going to bring it up here again as well because I applaud this. The dev for this game, I believe, I don't know how true this is, but I've seen multiple people bring it up, so I'm gonna just rock with it. So don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure they put in their will that you cannot add microtransaction to this game after they pass away, like years from now. So I think I don't know if I would call it petty, but also I kind of would call it petty, and I love that. Petty for the people. This game needs to win all the awards this year. Case closed. So those are the winners. Now we're gonna go through some of the nominees for this year because I've played quite a few of these and I do want to talk about them. First is Lightbreak. I demoed this game at DreamHack for the first time. And then I played the demo a little bit again when I got back, but I was so, not necessarily burnt out, but I was so dead when I got back that I sucked at the demo when I got back. But I do love this game. It's really, really good. It is a little musical puzzle game, not a rhythm game, a musical puzzle game. And it's really calming. I like it a lot. I do. I recommend this game if you're into cozy games and things like that. It doesn't have a release date yet, but it was really, really fun, and I would definitely play it again. Obviously, it's on my wish list. So that is Lightbreak. I don't really have a ton to say about it because I have played it before and I've talked about it twice already. So this is my third time talking about it, but that's Lightbreak. Next is Goodbye Soul, which looks like a post-apocalyptic story. What is this? Oh, I feel like I would like this. Oh, there's a demo. It kind of has similar vibes to something like Until Then, which god tier game. Goodbye Saul unveils a narrative-driven puzzle adventure that highlights the quest for hope through courage and bonds in a crumbling city. This also reads like a visual novel I've read before, which I would actually probably read, I don't know. As the world approaches its end in the 6 months, join Rion to uncover the truth behind a secret project with the abandoned Shadows of Soul. This looks really fun. I'm actually going to put it on my wishlist immediately and add the demo to my library. We will be demoing that. There's not a release date for it, but this looks really good. When I saw just like this half of the key art, just the title, I thought it was going to be much more horror focused and I wouldn't like it. However, seeing this pixel art here, seeing that it's more of a post-apocalyptic story game, puzzles and things, I think I would really, really like this game. But it is something I will have to play when it's light out because otherwise I will get just scared enough to freak out. So I look forward to playing this, actually. I think this looks really good. I love the art. So yeah, that's gonna be an emotional gut punch probably when I do get to it. Speaking of games on my wish list, Dawnfolk, I have played this twice now. I did a normal demo dive, and then I did a dedicated playtest demo dive a couple of weeks later. As you can see, the playtest thing is still on the Steam page. So that's there. But it calls itself a city builder, but it definitely is more strategy than city builder. I don't really have or know how to even talk about this game. I've played it twice now. I love this game. It doesn't have a release date, but I love this game. Like this would go in one of my winners for the year. Like I really like this game. I look forward to playing more of it. I could with I think the playtest is still down here. I actually don't think the playtest is still available, quite frankly. Like I don't know why it's still there. But the demo is available. I'm not going to throw it into a demo dive because I have demoed it twice already. So Dawnfolk has had its time on my channel. Just talking about it now is even more. This is the third time we've talked about it. But I 200% recommend demoing this game because it's quite fun. I don't know if the updated version of the demo has everything from the playtest version that I played a couple months ago, but if it does, there's some really fun there's like a daily, you can go in and do a little daily thing. It's really fun. Please play the little extra puzzle modes. They're so much fun. All of it, this game is fun. I recommend it. I feel like I'm losing brain cells. The yellow is causing me to lose brain cells, actually. All right. Diatribe is VR, so I'm not really gonna look into it. It looks really good actually for a VR game. I do say this quite a bit. Oh god, this is terrifying. This is terrifying. I don't know how I feel about this. But a lot of VR games have this very samey look in the way that they look very dated despite being very new. Like it looks like something that would have come out like 10 years ago. Does that make sense? I have said this before with VR games, and ever since I said it, I feel like I've been proven wrong by indie VR games, AAA VR games, or even AA VR games. Stuff released specifically for the MetaQuest and the MetaQuest alone, so Facebook had something to do with it. Look very dated. But anytime I see an indie VR game, I'm like, yeah, that looks really good. Actually, that looks recent. So ever since I said that, I've been proven wrong by indie VR games and nothing else. This looks really good if you have a VR headset. I don't have a VR headset because I get motion sick really easily, and the last time I used a VR headset, I almost broke my hand. So I'm not gonna buy one, quite frankly. But it actually looks kind of good. It looks terrifying, but good. Next, we have No More Rainbows, another VR game. Okay. There must have been a VR category. I don't know anything about this. Rampage through colorful worlds to reclaim your desecrated underworld from parasitic beings of joy. This also looks extremely trippy. It looks fun, but also seeing that it's like a parkour platformer, 200% I'd break my hand playing this. I would actually break my hand playing this one. It is VR only, so you need a VR headset to play it. But again, I love this big frog. It looks a little dated, but not as bad as like actual like if meta and their weird half human things is the baseline, it doesn't look that dated. Yeah, it's in a bundle with Super Hot. Super Hot was the game I was playing when I almost broke my hand, so that is a no from me. I can't play this one. I do really like the art style though, like this like sort of Alice in Wonderland-esque vibe. I love Alice in Wonderland. So I do think if this was released in a non-VR setting, like a normal 3D platformer that you can play on a screen, I would really like it and I would love to play it. But as it stands, I can't play this as VR. One, because I don't have the headset, and two, I actually will break my hand again. Almost break my hand again. Next is, what even is this? It's an adventure point and click, The Many Pieces of Mr. Koo. It came out in September. I have not heard of this. It is a whimsical point-and-click adventure with a surrealist story, astounding hand-drawn animations, and hilarious puzzles. Mr. Ku is trapped and broken into pieces, but most of all, he has no idea what's going on. Is that a giant chicken over there? It kind of had like originally a Cuphead vibe, but now I'm like looking at it and it's like completely different. I'm putting the demo in my library. We'll demo it. We'll throw it in a demo dive. I have not heard of this until now though. September 6th. Yeah, and that wasn't like if it was October 6th, if it came out October 6th, I'd be like valid. I was in Atlanta then, valid. But it came out September 6th. I was seated in Texas. Oh no, wait, I was sick. That's when I was sick. Oh, that was when I was really sick then. That makes sense. Okay, that's why I missed it probably. I'm like, what was going on at the beginning of September? I was extremely ill. That's what was going on. We'll demo it. We will for sure demo it and see how we feel about it. But that was another nominee. Then after that, I feel like I've seen this game, Pineapple: A Bittersweet Revenge. I feel like I've seen this. A puzzle and story revenge-driven game where you become the hero of the school by pulling pranks on the top bully. Maybe, okay, no, I take it back. I don't think I've seen this. Time to give that witch a taste of their own medicine with a pineapple. I just don't like the vibe of this game. Like, I feel like earlier I said that like something like Papers, Please kind of gives me the ick. I feel like this kind of does as well for different reasons. I think it's just like as somebody who was bullied as a kid, I don't want to like go back. Like I don't have revenge fantasies, and I feel like that's what this game is, but also you're playing from the point of view of a kid. Maybe that's the point. Maybe at the end you'll learn like it's not worth it, but also it's tagged as funny, and I guess it's just the sort of thing I don't find funny, if that makes sense. Also the colors kind of hurt my eyeballs, so like there's that too. But yeah, it's also the sort of thing like I don't seek out media about high schoolers. This almost seems like more middle school. I don't seek out media about like high schoolers or middle schoolers. I'll watch every now and then a show like with high school main characters if it's really, really good. Specifically anime, because anime does that a lot where they focus on high schoolers for some reason. But even like Western media will make characters high schoolers when they very clearly and very easily could have been college students and it would have been better, probably. This looks like a fun little game if you're into this sort of thing, but I unfortunately am not, so I will be skipping this one, which is fine. Like I'm the type of person who definitely holds a grudge on people, but I don't seek out, like I don't want revenge. I don't seek that out. So I feel like that I'm just not the target market for that one, and that's okay. Another game I'm not the target market for, funnily enough, is the Lullaby of Life. As you can see, it's in my library. I played it earlier this year, and I'm gonna be so honest, I didn't really like it. I didn't really like it that much. I did get a review copy of this game, but it just was kind of meh. I believe it's quite a short game as well. As you can see, I only played it for 0.8 hours. I couldn't sit even for a full hour to play it. I didn't like it that much. I'm gonna be so real. It was fine. I wanted to play it because I saw it was trending on Steam for a little bit, and then it was tagged as a rhythm game, and I love rhythm games, but I wasn't vibing with it. I'm gonna be so like, sometimes I'll play puzzle games and it'll be so satisfying and I'm like, yes, I love these puzzles, but then other times I'll play them and it's like feels like a chore, and that's kind of how I felt with this game, unfortunately. So I wouldn't actually recommend this game, but if you're looking for something kind of like chill and calming to like not really think about while you're playing something kind of mindless, I would recommend this. But if you're looking for like an actual, I don't want to say an actual good puzzle game because that's a little bit harsh, but I didn't like it, okay? It wasn't for me, okay? I wanted more of the music and rhythm, and with this game, the music and rhythm aspects are almost entirely based around just like things making sounds. It doesn't actually, you're not really doing any sort of greater melody, and even the parts of the puzzles where you are building on a greater melody to like notes, sequences of notes, sometimes it's the like playing the notes and the gameplay of it is kind of annoying almost because it doesn't, like, it times out, if that makes sense. But then I just wanted more music. I like more of the lullaby aspect, and there wasn't enough of it for me. But I am very picky rhythm games and music-based games in general because I am classically trained at violin. I love music and always have. I have a very musical background, so I put a lot of my rhythm games need to do a lot of heavy lifting. So like you look at something like Lullaby of Life and Light Break, I would always prefer something like Light Break over the Lullaby of Life. That's just my 2 cents. Next is actually a free-to-play game, The Ware Cleaner. I have not seen this at all. May 7th. A family member had a birthday around here, so that's probably why I missed this one. It looks cute enough. I thought going into this, it looked kind of like a co-op, a multiplayer game, but it seems like something you can play in single. I have not heard of this till now. It doesn't say. I think you can entirely play this on your own. Put it in the library. I'll put it on my schedule when I go to edit this, but yeah, we'll play it eventually, even for just a little bit. The Were Cleaner. Kyle is a janitor. He's also a werewolf, and now he's got the night shift. Try not to kill anyone while working to get your paycheck, and a stealth comedy game with surprises around every corner. It doesn't necessarily sound like my sort of vibe, realistically, but I would like to give it a try. Also, this looks like it is a game that was released by a college program from USC, University of Southern California, I'm assuming. I do have some of their other games in my library. I believe it's USC. And, you know, I love supporting games released by college programs. I think it's really cool. As someone who did go to a school with a very prominent and heavy video game program for a while, I think it's really cool. And obviously I love games. So I think it's really cool and love supporting college game programs. So obviously we're gonna give it a shot. So next is Glitch Spanker. Another haha funny. There's a lot of haha funnies. And you know, I have said this before, but I'm not the biggest comedy fan. I will not watch a rom-com if my life depends on. I cannot sit through a rom-com. It kind of goes inside with the fact that I don't like reality TV. I don't like rom-com. I don't like it. So this does not look like my cup of tea at all, but maybe because there's a demo. I don't know. Rescue your game from a hungry virus named Spunk in this comedic narrative-driven exploration game. Befriend or destroy him, tackle challenges and minigames, uncover secrets, unlock customizations, and explore different endings. With Glitch Spanker's antivirus, every level is different and unexpected. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, I'm gonna skip this one for demonetization purposes. I'm gonna skip that one. Nah. Too many butts. There's a lot of butts in these games. All right. Listen, it's like I said, a game can be great, but it can also be totally not great for content at the same time. Why do you think I keep putting off mouth washing? I loved that demo, but I'm afraid to play it on the channel for multiple reasons. Also, it looks terrifying, but I'm so happy it's getting its flowers as well. That's entirely unrelated to this. Okay, another game I'm happy to see here, Savorless. I played this earlier this year. I don't know if it was the dev or the publisher or maybe like a marketing team offered me a review copy of this game, and I saw the art and thought it was really cool. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I absolutely adored it. The thing is, I was playing it on Switch, which because I use a capture card in order to show it on screen, I had a lot of input lag, and this is the sort of platformer where you cannot have input lag. So I think I picked it up on my own time once after the recording, but I haven't gotten really super far from the one video I did back in April or May, probably just looking at the release date. But I really recommend this game. It is very dark as well. It's another dark sort of game, but it was really cool. I look forward to playing more of it at some point. Probably on my own time, just because the input lag is insane for this game, and you really cannot play it with input lag. It got to a point where there was like one boss that I pulled my Switch out of the dock and I was like, forget it, I'm doing this handheld. And I did it like the first try when I had it in handheld after spending like 20 minutes going back and forth trying to do it docked. So you can't play this game with input lag. I'm just saying, if you also have a capture card set up, you better have a good capture card that has no lag whatsoever. It was specifically this, not this one, but the one where the guy was like banging on the bridge. The bridge kind of looked like this. That was the one I had to do a million times because of input lag. So that was the specific boss. But yeah, this game is really good. I really liked it. I'm happy to see it somewhere, even if it didn't win. I'm happy to see it at a end of the year indie showcase type thing because I really liked this game. I do recommend Savorless heavy. Also, it plays really well on Switch as long as you're playing it handheld. So if you're like Switch Lite, undocked, anything, it plays really well on Switch. And for that reason, I don't know if it's Steam Deck verified, but if it is, I 200% Steam Deck verified. Yeah, I'll play it on Steam Deck. If any of you have a Steam Deck and are thinking about this, get it. Play it on Steam Deck, play it on Switch. It's really good handheld. I really liked it. All right, that was the last one I really had anything to say about. Next is The Gap, a mystery atmospheric game. Driven by a rare neurological affliction plaguing his family, Joshua has to recover his memories by exploring parallel realities through deja vu. The more I'm reading of this, the more intrigued I am. Facing the innermost depths of his past, moments both joyous and painful seems to be the only way to get his life and family back together. This sounds really cool. We're demoing it. At first I was like, this looks kind of creepy, I might skip it. And honestly, the key art wasn't really pulling me in, but the description sounds really cool. I want to play it. It does say it's mature, so demoing it, I'm gonna have to be careful, but I don't see anything too crazy in the previews here. I'm thinking maybe it says mature just because of some subject matters. Which makes total sense for something like this. It sounds like it would be kind of dark subject matter wise. So that's probably something to keep a look out for if you decide to play this game, but we will be demoing it to see kind of how bad it is. But this is another one I'm probably gonna have to demo during the daytime. At this point, I'm just gonna need to have like a full demo dive of games you need to play when it's light out. So record this in the morning, stupid. Record this on a Saturday morning or something. Like, do this, don't do this in the dark, because these are terrifying games. But I'm intrigued by this one. I really am. I'm excited to demo that. I don't know when I put this on my... Oh, wait, this looks familiar. Everdeep Aurora. I'm like, I don't know when I put this on my wish list, but no, it looks very familiar. Has it been featured anywhere? No, it just says Indiecade, because I'm like, I've seen this before, and I feel like I've demoed this before. I think I demoed this game ages ago. Hold on. Can I find it on my Notion? Because hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I know Steam is glitching out now, but I am so curious and I don't know how to find it, because it would be, I guess I just have to go through demo dives. Like, I don't know, but it looks so familiar. I don't even know where to start with this one. Like, when would I have demoed this? It's really hard to, I would have to go through my demo dives very particularly to find this. I'm gonna go back maybe July. This looks so, no, it would have to be earlier than that even. I'm gonna go back to January. I swear I've demoed this before. Oh, maybe it was last year. Okay, I'm in December. I'm in December now. Not December. Maybe it's November. We have to go back even farther. Because I'm in the portion where I was like really bad with writing down like which one was which. I don't even have titles here. Yeah, I think I demoed this literally ages ago. Like over a year ago, but it looks so familiar. I must have liked it, I guess. It just looks so familiar. I think I did like an alpha demo. I don't even remember. But this is a little 2D thing. I don't even know how to describe it. That took me out. I swear I've played this before and I look forward to it still. Everdeep Aurora. You play as a little cat. Okay, 2 more. We got this. The Quiet Things says it's a walking simulator, but this looks terrifying. It looks terrifying. An autobiographical narrative game based on real diary entries kept as a teenager. That's too much. Quiet Things seeks to explore mental health issues with a raw but brave look at childhood abuse and trauma. I immediately think I can't play this. With a deep focus on storytelling through audio, set foot in Alice's world and hear her story. This sounds really good, but it's another one that I think would not lend itself to content that well. One, because it's maybe a little bit too dark, a little bit too real, and definitely has things that could get me demonetized. I kind of might have to edit out part of the description. Oh, this game. I'm gonna skip it for content, but I might come back to it personally, quite frankly. It sounds really good. Last but not least on the nominees list is Star Stuff. I have brought this game up before. This was another game I tried to get a review copy of and did not. I don't remember. I think I was just ghosted for this one, which is fine. That happens all the time. I'm no harm done. But this game is kind of like a logic and programming game. One of those, it uses like actual programming language in parts. And I was intrigued by that because I have a little bit of programming knowledge, not a ton, but a little bit. And I wanted to give it a try, and I didn't. So I don't really have too much else to say about it. It was trending for a while when it first came out, for like a little bit there, but I haven't really heard of it unless it's been at like one of these year-end things before. It's a really smart idea. I think that I've been seeing a lot more of these like programming games that involve some sort of programming, which is really cool to see, because it's like these game devs, they know programming. Obviously you need to know programming to program a game. Why not take those skills that you have and teach them to the person playing the game? A lot of times it's a younger audience playing the game. I think that's really cool. I didn't play that one though. So those are the nominees. Night games. I think this is for a in-person part of the festival in LA. I don't really have much to say about this Never Looted Dungeon. It's a first-person dungeon crawler. I don't know much else to say about it other than it's a first-person dungeon crawler. My arm is glitching again. Plunder Panic, co-op. Sloppy Forgeries is another co-op game that I saw at DreamHack in Atlanta. I didn't get to play it because this was a very, very popular game when I was there. There was always people either playing the game, so I never really got the chance to, or there was just people standing in front of the table doing nothing. That happened a lot at DreamHack. People would just like, you know, when like you're like at the mall or something, or like walking down the sidewalk and a group of people in front of you just decide this is where we're gonna stop and we're gonna take up the whole sidewalk. It was kind of like that. So I never got the chance to go to this table. I kind of only could see it from afar. And then there's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, which I have said before, I wasn't the biggest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan growing up, and so I don't really plan on playing this game for the sole purpose that I could not do it justice. So I've heard good things about it if you are into the Ninja Turtles though. So, and then we have the honoree games. I'm gonna speedrun these. The Good Life, I demoed this way back in 2021. I actually did a couple of demo videos for this game because the demo was insanely long. It was a game that in like 2020, I think, when it was either first announced or when I finally came to see it, I was really excited for it. But then honestly, I demoed it and never came back to it. It was fine, I think, but it was just, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, you know? Of these games, though, that's the only one that it's still on my wish list. I don't take things off my wish list, though, so it's still there. Next is The Missing. JJ Macfield and the Island of Memories, I'm assuming, is the finish to that. It says it's gory, so it's going to be a skip for me. I don't do gore well, but I think all the other tags are things I would enjoy, but I am going to skip it for the gore. Also, these are all older games. No, I mean, some of them are. Hotel Barcelona is a Metroidvania. Actually, that looks terrifying. I'm going to put it on my wish list. I'm intrigued. Last is Chuchel. Came out in 2018, a point and click. It's not my vibe, so I think I'm gonna skip it. And that's all of the main 2024 page. There is also pages for previous years, finalists and winners. Community games, which I'm not sure. Other games from 2024 nominee developers. That's what that is for. Okay, so there's a lot more games we can go through. There's some that I've played. Dark Sky I've played. Death of a Wish I've played. I played Smooshy at DreamHack. This is in my library, but I have never played it. This is also in my library, but I haven't played it. As you can see, if something's free, Times and Galaxy, I demoed at one point in time and gave me so much anxiety because I was previously a journalism student, and this is kind of a little spoiler for some personal life changes I'm making, but I will be again. I'm not elaborating on that. And then this is awkward. Y'all are getting a little bit of a spoiler to upcoming content. I received a copy of Bandit Night from either the publisher or the developer or someone in marketing. I'm not entirely sure who, because I don't know off the top of my head. But it's in my video schedule, and we'll be playing Bandit Night at some point in time. So I feel like have I played this already? No. Okay, but I have it in my library, as you can see, but I can't hide that. I might have to edit this entire section out, by the way. I don't remember when the embargo was, so I'm gonna have to check that when I go to edit this. Me, who's editing this, go check that, please. Make sure you can talk about that game and don't have to edit that entire section out. What is this replica? Oh, it's like a hacking game. Okay. There is a section for games that are coming soon. Here of this 13Z, I did demo this. Technically, I did a demo dive that was entirely playtests, and that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. And that video was 13Z. I did not receive early access or anything to this. I just found it on my own. So completely unbiased opinion, this game rocks. Please play it. Light Break again. I'm just pointing some out. This looks fun. I'm gonna put that on my wish list. We'll come back to that. See, this is what happens. I put things on my wish list. I'm like, that looks cool. Looking at it, like a tiny little screen box of it. And then later on, it comes back and I'm like, wow, why is this on my wish? When did this get on my wish list? What's this? Love Eternal. Probably get demonetized. Dungeon Crawler. Amazing. I did the alpha demo and a demo dive quite a while ago. Amazing. Another content piece is getting exposed here. Everhome! I think I've talked about this before. I did get a review copy, so we will be playing that shortly on the channel. I'm very excited for that because this game looks great. But this just came out, literally, I think the embargo was today, so I can talk about it. I know I can talk about that one. This Demon School, I don't know when I put this in my wish list, but it looks sick, so it can stay there. And then there's the ones that are on sale. So of the games that are on sale here, I'm gonna point out which ones I think. Is it just on sale, like games that you can buy? Because not all of these are on sale. Some of them are. Ones that actually are tagged as like being a sale price. Similar Times is kind of mid, I'm not gonna lie. I have demoed that, I want to say twice at this point, but I don't really. This game is not on sale, but it's also not on my wish list. Mexico 1921 Deep Slumber. I have did the demo for this as well, but it's one of those games where I'm like, I don't know if I could play the full game for content because it gets really dark. Even just in the beginning, like cutscene bits, I had to censor so much of it because there was so much like demonetizable language. If you're playing this all on your own, please play this game. It looks so cool. I actually would love to get back into it after demoing it, but it's dark. Just know that. And I believe that's it for Indiecade. Finally, it took 56 minutes. I recorded 2 videos tonight, both thinking that neither one would be that long. It was long. But yeah, that's Indiecade. Looks like we got some fun stuff to demo coming up. A lot of demos I have to record when it's light out, which is hard when the sun goes down at like 4 in the afternoon. So yippee. I'm gonna go have a snack or something. I'm really hungry. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. I will have the link to the Steam page for Indiecade down below. Even after the 16th, it still should be up at least for a little bit, so make sure to check it out. As always, I hope everyone had or is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys!